lecture.
Where?
No, you said that you are going to give a lecture.
I am going to talk on the life of Swami Vivekanand and how it is most relevant to the student community in a separate talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just on a side note, I used to have a pharmacy in a city called La Crescenta, and Swami Vivekananda came by train from Chicago to La Crescenta.
Okay.
And one of my customer, her mom accompanied him and paid for his visit.
That's great. That's great.
So I went to see her at her home, and I said, I'm so fortunate to meet somebody who has met Swami Vivekananda. And as a matter of fact, Yogananda, he did a lot of things in America, about the Raj Yoga and things, and he had a nice ashram in La Crescenta.
Okay.
So, and I do practice Raj Yoga, but but Swami Vivekananda, great human being.
True.
For every young person,
He is a real ideal of the nation, precisely speaking.
That's right. And India is so fortunate that there are so many young people.
True.
Right now India is so fortunate that there are so many young people.
Yeah. Aditya sir, tell me how many. I think 80 have joined so far. 84.
Oh, okay, sure, no problem.
We'll wait for more 2 minutes. Aditya, I am not able to hear you. I don't know. Are you talking or not, or only nodding? I don't know, but I'm not able to hear you. Say hi.
Can you hear me?
Sir, I am able to hear you. I'm talking about our faculty member, Mr. Aditya, who is here.
Oh, okay.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, now it's okay. Now, Aditya, you are audible.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll wait for a minute and then we'll start.
No problem. So can I ask you one personal question?
Yes, sir.
Where did you graduated from?
I did my graduation from North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon, which is in the northern part of Maharashtra, which is typically a rural university as of now.
Acha.
Yeah.
In which year?
94 I passed out.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, 98 I passed out. 94 I got admitted. 98
okay.
I passed out.
That's very good.
Yeah.
You are a very dynamic person.
I don't know,
so many seminars, I cannot believe it, Every day I'm looking at the different videos and I said, man, his students.
Most importantly, sir, I am happy to know that you as a speaker, before coming to the forum, you viewed our website, you completely took the stock of the website, and I'm surprised that you know many things about our institution. That is really something great, which one should learn from you.
That's right.
Otherwise, generally speaker come and talk and go, but you try to understand what our culture is and how the institution is. That is really a very unique quality which is to be learned from you.
I was trying to find out what can I find common between me and the students.
Oh, I see.
And once I found out that right now you are having a second year BPharm, and then it clicked me that I'm going to talk about that. That I said I have something common with the student, but I said, what do I have common with the principal? And and then I started looking at it, and you have done wonderful. They are lucky.
Our entire team of the faculty members and the students, they are wonderful. And when good people come together, good things happens. I have no specific role to play into it. That is the dedication of our entire staff. They have been doing wonderful job.
Okay, that's very good.
Yeah. Aditya, I think we should start. It is 11 o'clock now, and more than 115 people are there on the platform. So it's right time to start, right? Aditya, what do you say?
Yes, sir. We can start. Yeah. So, should I?
Yeah, please, please. So, sir, with your
Welcome,
due
everyone.
permission, we'll start, sir.
Sure, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So, welcome all. Good morning, and thank you for your presence today. I will just switch on to our host for today's, Ms. Shruti Nigam. Shruti, over to you.
Morning, everyone. I'm Shruti Nigam from SYB Farm. Will be hosting this webinar on behalf of Diva Patil University School of Pharmacy, Navi Mumbai, which is Western Regional Center of Association Community Pharmacists of India. This event is organized in collaboration with Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Community Pharmacy Division, on the occasion of National Youth Day. Now, I would like to brief you about the importance of National Youth Day. January 12 marks the birthday of Swami Vivekanand, who was a true luminary credited with enlightening the Western world about Hinduism. He was an ardent disciple of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa and a major force in the revival of Hinduism in India. He pushed for national integration in colonial India, and his famous speech remains as the one that he gave in Chicago in 1893. To honor his many contributions to the country, the government of India in the year 1984 declared his birthday as National Youth Day, and the day has been celebrated since. On this day, the country's youth are expected to rise to the values, principles, and beliefs that the great monk lived by. As the government rightly said in 1984, the philosophy of Swamiji and the ideals for which he lived and worked could be a great source of inspiration for the Indian Youth Day. The main objective is to promote rational thinking among the youth, believed to be the future of our country. It expected of the youth to rise to the occasion, fight for the right, and channel their inner energies, just like Swami Vivekanand would have. Swamiji quoted that if the mind is intensely eager, everything can be accomplished, mountains can be crumbled into atoms. He saw hope for the future in every child and believed that with muscles of iron and nerves of steel, they could bring about social change. Now, I request our principal, Dr. Rakesh Somani sir, to share his thoughts on today's event.
Yeah. Thank you, Shruti, for inviting me to talk on this occasion. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome our honorable speaker, Dr. Mahadev Bhatt, all the way from United States. Of course, we will have a formal introduction of Dr. Bhatt, but this is really a very great occasion today as we are going to listen Dr. Bhatt today, who himself is a practicing pharmacist. You know, many of us probably are the pharmacists by degree, pharmacist by our virtues as such. But Dr. Bhatt is really a very tall personality as far as the pharmacy is being practiced in his personal life. Another thing, which is another important event today, is as Shruti said, it is a National Youth Day. That is the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekanand. And it is a very proud privilege of mine to talk here about Swami Vivekanand. I think this generation must learn about, the ethos and the spirit from Swami Vivekanand. There are many things which can be talked about his life, but one or two things which I will, certainly highlight. That Swamiji, Shruti said that he was typically a preacher of Hinduism, but I will try to correct her. It is not the Hinduism in the very limited concept, but he was a preacher for the universal religion. And that is what he spoke in Chicago during the World Religion Congress. So we should not be restricting him to a specific religion, but he was a preacher of the humanity as such. And why this a monk, typically a wandering monk, should be an ideal for the students, and that is what his work talk about. So he worked typically for the national integration, and he worked for the synthesis of the idea of Western civilization with the idea of the Indian ethos or Eastern ethos. So Indian ethos and Western technology, that when come together, probably this is the right path for the upliftment of the humanity. That is what Swamiji believed, and he worked for that. Ramakrishna Mission is the typical embodiment of those thoughts. I welcome the executive body members of ACPI, WRC. Also, there are mentors of the ACPI who are attending this event. Also, I welcome and appreciate and thankful to the IPA CPD who have agreed to collaborate with us for hosting this particular event. I am also welcoming the principals of different colleges who have joined from all over the country, as well as few of the states of the, few colleges from the abroad also, those who are part of this webinar. Also, I welcome all the faculty members, my dear students for whom this particular webinar is kept. So dear students, with this ethos of National Youth Day and the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda, we are going to learn something unique today, that what is the role of pharmacist and how a pharmacist can actually play important role into his day-to-day life. That Dr. Mahadev Bhatt is the a live example of that, and he is going to talk about it. Also, I request all of you to please note down, because this is not typical a PowerPoint presentation, but where Dr. Bhatt is going to interact with all of you one by one, and probably going to share his live examples. And so this is really a great learning experience. Probably had this kind of experience been with me when I was a student in the late 90s. So probably my course of action would have been different. And so you are really lucky that Dr. Bhatt, who is himself is a encyclopedia of pharmacy profession as such, is with us here. Dr. Bhatt, I welcome you here and thankful to you for sparing your valuable time. I understand it's 10 p.m. or so in the United States that you are in. Still you are with us. That's really our pleasure for that. And I go back to Shruti to take the program further. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable inputs. Now I would like to brief in about our today's speaker, Dr. Mahadev Bhatt. Dr. Bhatt is an alumni of LMCP Ahmedabad. After his graduation in 1972, he moved to USA. He then worked in manufacturing for 5 years. Then he moved to be a R&D manager for Plus Products in Irvine, California, which was then purchased by Procter & Gamble. P&G promoted him as a material manager to overlook production, forecasting, and all the logistics for the plant for 4 years. Then, due to his impressive work, he got to be in charge of R&D and technical affairs for new products introduction, which he continued to do for next 7 years. During this time, P&G purchased Vidal Sassoon and Pantene cosmetic companies, and then asked him to shift to Greensboro, North Carolina, because of strategic location in 1992. In meantime, he had decided to become a licensed pharmacist and pursue in clinical pharmacy. So he joined in Mission Hospital in Los Angeles as a director of pharmacy. After a few years, he joined retail pharmacy in 1995 and owned 4 pharmacies. Then sold all of them during the 2000s because of some personal reasons. In 2003, he joined Walgreens Pharmacy as a floater pharmacist and 2 years became a manager. Then, in 2015, he retired from Walgreens Pharmacy. He has seen all the parts of the pharmacy field, from R&D to clinical trials to community pharmacy. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are glad to have him as our today's guest speaker, Dr. Mahadev Bhatt.
Hello.
Yeah,
Thank
over
you.
to you, sir.
Sure. I was, I had a phone call from your principal. It was early in the morning and I was making a cup of tea for myself. I said, who is calling me from India right now? So I picked up the phone and I talked to him, and then I accepted that I will give a talk. I was trying to find out what is common between me and your college. And then I did some research and I found out that the first batch of pharmacy will be coming out in year 2023, 22-23. And I really liked it. I said, I will be talking to the students, those who are in the process of becoming the pharmacists from this college for the first time. With my life, before I joined LMCP, I was at Manipal. And I was in the second batch of Manipal Pharmacy College. And during the examination, Dr. C.S. Shah from LMCP came. And we were talking about, how the things are. And then he said, if you like to come to Ahmedabad, I'll be more than happy to pick you up. At that time, my grandfather passed away, and I didn't have much fun to stay at Manipal, So I moved to LMCP. What I liked about your college is that you have series of video conferences and web seminars where different speakers are coming and talking about different things. What I like to impress now, today, that you all have chosen the best possible field in the world. I wanted to become a doctor. I could not get into medical college. And maybe I bet you 10-1 that more than 50% of you must have joined pharmacy because of that. Now think a little bit differently. When you will become a pharmacist, you will have a chance to talk to 100 doctors and tell them what to do. Medical college, I do respect them. I do respect doctors. My children are doctors. I have, 8 family members, those who are doctors, but their pharmacological basic is only 1 semester or 2 semesters. And we have to learn a lot from them, and we can be their sidekick. We can think for them, and we can tell them that this is what we have done. So the humanity will be served a lot better. We cannot imagine that doctor doesn't know. Doctor does know. They know the clinical side, and we have to pick up that clinical side to help the general community. I will give some examples. In community pharmacy, generally in India, you have got diploma students who does the community pharmacy. Here in USA, most of the registered pharmacists are graduate in pharmacy or PharmD. Suppose you get a prescription for dexamethasone, 10 milligram, 1 tablet once a day, and then you got another prescription for dexamethasone, 10 milligrams, 1 tablet 3 times a day. What would you do? Would you give it to a patient? Why the patient is taking it? And once you show some interest, the clinical interest into him, you can help him in such a great way that dexamethasone can cause acidity. Dexamethasone can cause brittle bones. You can advise them how to take the medication, what to do, and the patient will be so happy. Maybe that patient is suffering from cancer. Maybe that patient is suffering from COVID. Maybe that patient's blood sugar is going to go up. Maybe you can find out that is he a diabetic or not. But you have to show certain interest, so your field will become more promising, and you will have a consideration for what you have studied. This is only one example, because right now there are a lot of people who is taking dexamethasone because COVID. Everybody thought that, yeah, we can take hydroxychloroquine and dexamethasone, and you can boost the energy and things like that. But whenever you study something, pick up a molecule and understand that what it does. When you take a thing in the body, either it goes to the liver or it goes through the kidney. There is elimination and there is absorption. And if you keep your mind how the drug works, then you can advise them a lot better. I will give you another example. that if you are in a hospital pharmacy, it's not that you just fill a prescription because doctor wrote it, but you go and find out, did the patient in the hospital took the medication or did not? Sometimes nurses will give the medication to the patient and patient may not even take it. I had a very, it comes into my mind that we had to give niacetine suspension to one patient because they had some blisters in the mouth and she would not take it. She was only, I think, 9 or 10 years old. So it happened one day, it happened second day, the thing started coming back into my cassette. So I went there and I talked to that girl. She says, I don't like it. I said, okay. So I went down to the kitchen and I made a popsicle out of niacetine suspension. I said, do you like popsicle? He says, yeah, I love it. I love ice cream. So we gave her the popsicle and it worked. And the doctors in the hospital, they were so pleased that somebody went and took an interest in a patient to find out why patient they are not taking medication. So when you show the interest for your profession, it makes your life more interesting. Most of my clinical I have learned from the ICU nurses, from the infectious disease doctors, ID doctors, the anesthesiologist. They taught me a lot. But hospital pharmacy, you do get a satisfaction of becoming a part of a pharmacy and therapeutic committee. People don't come into hospital to take medication by mouth. Let me tell you very frankly. Patient needs to be discharged if hospital has to make money. Within 5 days, if the patient doesn't go out, hospitals are losing money. Imagine that you went to a hospital, you had a fever, and doctor gave you the antibiotic NSAID or say Cleflon or things like that. For 5 days, you are still taking Cleflon and the pharmacist is still dispensing it. You don't need those intravenous injection for 5 days. The result has to come on the very third day. And the pharmacist should know and alert the doctor, did we do the blood and culture tests or not? Because those tests will come within 48 hours, and you can help the cost of the hospital. You can help the doctor because he has to see a lot of patients and you can go and put your notes. Another thing is that some patients come to the hospital just to take narcotics. You can control that. You can have a schedule forms and you can ask them to write it. I have noticed that every time Xanax, everybody takes Xanax, it never comes back in the cassette. If there are 90 patients, and suppose doctor has given Xanax to 50 patients, none of the tablets will come back. So I had to do the investigation that what is going on. Is somebody taking it or people are sharing it? Again, you have got a crash cart because somebody got OD, overdose. Did they open it or not? You have to maintain it. But the infectious disease doctor and the ICU nurse, they teach pharmacy so much to enhance your continuous knowledge. It is very important for a pharmacist in a hospital to go and address every nursing station and let them be your friends, part of you. So whatever medications you are given, it is being given to the patient also. It's not being missed. The reason I went to the clinical pharmacy because I didn't want it to go out of Los Angeles because my children were already in the school and they were 10 or 11 years old, you know. So I said, okay, let me try the registration license for the state of California. And I changed my life, and and I like clinical because I was in the research and director post. I have done cosmetics and a lot of other things. So what I'm saying is that there are a lot of opportunities, but you have to pick what you want to do. I was looking at different, web seminars your principal is doing. He's trying to show you what different avenues are available. It is up to you to pick it up, what you want to do. Generally, when you are in a first year science or an inter science, teacher will teach you. But when you are in a professional college, he might just teach you one section and rest of the things you have to read. You cannot wait for him to tell you page by page by page, And that's the reason I think he's showing you different ways that how you can increase your horizon. Everybody wants to make money. I wanted to make money, so I came here. I passed in 72, and I think within 3 months I was here. I used to work for Hoffman and Roche. So when I came here, my first job, they asked me how much money you want to make. I think you guys are going to laugh. Hoffman and Roche used to give me 600 rupees a month. So I said $600. And I think the guy name was Bob Riley, And he said, okay, you are hired. I said, okay, fine. So I was so happy. I go inside. There is an Indian production manager. His name Ashwin S. Patel. So he showed me the tableting department and fine. And then he says, how much did he offer you? I said, he asked me how much I want, and I told him $600. He says, well, the job is for 750. And the guy is Jewish, So, so he says, let me take you back to him. And then they both talked to each other and they said, okay, in 3 months, we can give you that much money, So there are people always there to help you when you come into the professional field. I do understand that in India, the pharmacy industry is geared towards the industry. There are so many smart Indians who has done so many good stuff with the industry that right now, I think in 2015, I had a calculation that 26% of the generic drugs came from India in America. By now, it should be 35 to 37%, So you can imagine that so many researchers and so many MPharms and PhD students in India who has gone to the industry has done tremendously. But my thinking is a little bit different. Swami Vivekananda, your principal, is a student of him, What can you do for the humanity? It's not that I have joined the pharmacy because I could not go into the medicine. I joined the health field because I do care for people. That is the basic thing. I do care for the human beings. Either you go to the medicine or you go to the pharmacy, things like that. And then how can I uplift the life of my fellow human being? Either you can do it religiously, or you can go to the school and do it, or suppose you are a doctor, you can help your patient. If you are a pharmacist, you can help your community. What extra thing you can do? And being an Indian pharmacist, you do have that chance. Now, I have suggested to a couple of other principals, I think Ananta and Dr. Yadav, that it is not easy to fulfill the COVID pandemic situation. Vaccine has come. Everybody will get vaccine. Let me tell you what is the problem in America right now. We have 20 million vaccines available, right? Out of that, they have released 11 million. As of yesterday, they have only injected 6 million shots into the arms. So you do need people. We are only 300 million people here. Most of the medical staff and the nursing staff, they all are busy with the COVID patients because things are not coming down. They are increasing. There are new things happening. So somewhere, if some of the principal of the pharmacy college or the Indian Pharmacy Association can impress on government that they should make pharmacists a part of a health chain. To give an injection is not a big thing. Either you find a gluteus maximus or you find a deltoid muscle and you give a shot. You have to be careful that it doesn't go into the artery or vein. It's not difficult. The nursing college can teach you or the medical college can teach you. And one doctor can have 20 students, and we can give 20 more vaccine. So here we have got Walgreens, CVS, they all go and give shots. You can go down to Kaiser and get shots from the pharmacy, and you can help to do different avenues. It's not that you do only clinical pharmacy. It's not that you only do industry. Same way, you can also help community in osteoporosis. Calcium, magnesium is a very small thing. It's a basic things in human beings' lives, calcium and magnesium. If you take a look at most of the elderly people, especially women, they get a slight hump in the back because they have gone through the menopause. They are losing calcium from the body. But by the same token, when they had enough estrogen, if we had given them extra calcium citrate, they could have stored that and that thing would have not happened, because estrogen helps the absorption of the calcium. Now the society have changed. Most of the young adults, they do take birth control pill. If they can take a birth control pill, they can take calcium too, and then they can store that calcium in their body. But those movement has to come either from a retail pharmacy or from the pharmacy association, that we create a situation where the health of the nation can develop. There are few other things I like to touch upon is, we take a molecule, calcium or a magnesium, or suppose somebody is taking a cholesterol drug, simvastatin, Zocor. Now, if you take that medication, you do have to take coenzyme Q10, because that will help you to avoid the side effect of that. So now the nutraceuticals will come into the effect. So those who are in the retail business or those who are in the chemist and druggist business, they can increase their business by advising their patients. I remember, I think I visited Goa. There is a pharmacy in Goa called Hindu Pharmacy. And I think this was, I don't know, Raji is listening here today or not, but I think I visited in 2001 or 2002, 2001 most probably, or 2000. At that time, he was teaching his clientele about the blood pressure. He used to take free blood pressure. He used to teach a lot of girls. I think his wife used to teach them how to best feed a baby. We never did that in America. At that time, we had a blood pressure machine. Just go and put your hand and you are done with it. But in 2000, he used to take in his pharmacy. You sit down and he will discuss with you. And I told him, I said, Raj, I have never seen anybody doing that. Even I don't do that in America. So if that innovation comes within you, and that comes because you do care for human beings, you do care for other people's life. That's the reason you have joined the pharmacy, not because that you could not get admission in a medical college, not because that your friends told you. And this is what your teachers help you to understand by giving you so many different seminars. If anybody has a question, either you can stop me or you can ask me,
Yes, sir.
or shall I continue?
We have a question and answer session at the end of this, at the end of your talk.
Okay, sure. Now, when I was looking at some of your web series, the most I liked that you guys, what is it called? War with words, There were 2 sections, and that is the best one I like. Let me tell you, you guys, you know how to kick butts, Let me tell you. And that is what needed. But you have to milk the knowledge of medical profession so they can trust you to let you handle their patients. Because actually they are patient. What is the duty of a pharmacy? We follow the orders written by a doctor. We don't go and tell them that, this is a drug interaction and this. No, you have to say it in such a way that you are their helping hand. Let's take an example of any long-acting antibiotics, say Zithromax, azithromycin, Levaquin. Why are they only once a day? The longer the effect of the antibiotic, more are the interaction. Trust me, it doesn't go away from the body right away. Guys, can you give me 1 minute? I have to go to my mom's room because she just woke up. Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay.
Sure. We'll hold on.
Because she's a hospice care patient and I'm taking care of her.
Yeah.
And I can hear this on. Just give me a second, okay?
Yes, sir. Definitely. So I hope everyone is enjoying the session, as he is a very veteran pharmacist in USA. So he has taken and seen every point in the pharmacy world, starting from getting as a serving as a community pharmacist to the R&D manager, to the clinical trials head. He has seen everything. So I hope everyone is enjoying his session. And what I feel very good about it is that he is the source of knowledge that we should always strive for. So yeah, we should continue.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can. I had given her around 7 o'clock. I gave her 81 and Haldol and some morphine sulfate. So I thought it will last for 2 hours. But see, this is what it is. We think it is, but clinically it may not happen.
Yeah, definitely.
That is very important to understand.
Yeah, and it's good to see you taking care of everyone in the family,
yeah.
pharmacists.
Yeah. We think That's the way doctor thinks, that I give amoxicillin 4 times a day and it's going to work. Amoxicillin 500 milligram 4 times a day was a standard procedure to give. But then what happens? Somebody in R&D found out that we can give 2000 milligram of amoxicillin in one shot at time release form. That theory went out the window. So now the researcher did his job. Doctor is prescribing because the medical representative told him and might have bought him a car to do that. So he's prescribing it. What will you do? Now, any antibiotics, any patient takes, it is going to affect the intestinal flora. So generally, when I was a young child in India, they said, oh, if you've got a cough and cold, don't eat yogurt, you know. But yogurt contains acidophilus. If you eat acidophilus, it helps the intestinal flora to absorb B complex vitamin. So if you tell your patient that if you are taking some antibiotics and you have got a diarrhea or you've got a loose motions, if you eat yogurt, it will help you. Yeah, it will sure help you. You know, that patient is going to come to you again. Now, long-acting antibiotics has got more drug interaction with the food. I don't know how many people drink grapefruit juice in India, but here we drink quite a bit. And we found out that by taking long-acting antibiotics, if you grapefruit juice, it increases the QT interval time of the heart. You know, so there is a sudden death period. Now it depends on the young people and the old people. Can they handle it or not? But if you have got this clinical knowledge and if you can advise people, it will help you tremendously. You know, other good example is Levaquin. Every time you take a Levaquin, the blood sugar drops down. Trust me. So if the patient is diabetic, he is taking insulin, then you have to find out that is he measuring his blood glucose reading or not. Because since he is on antibiotics, the blood glucose, so he might have to reduce the insulin dose. And sometimes people just collapse. And this history has happened. This history has happened time and again. I just found out very recently that most of the patients in America in hospitals, they fell because doctors had given morphine to the patient, but at the same time, some other doctor came and gave them Ativan. Benzodiazepine and the morphine doesn't go together. You know, it increases the instability of mind. Now, you give Ativan to agitated patient, but you give morphine because the patient is in pain, because they have already fallen, you know. Their heart rate might be going up. Maybe you want to bring it down. It doesn't mean that you don't give, but you give in a lesser dose, not the dose which is, and that's where you can advise the nursing staff. If you are in a home healthcare business, being a pharmacist, you have got so many avenues. I consider pharmacy like a chef. If you are a good cook, you can become a great pharmacist if you are a great cook. Let me tell you. Because either you do formulation or you advise people, you mix certain ingredients, and you make somebody's life better. But you should have some interest in cooking stuff up. So if the gender-wise, girls always cooks better than men. I don't deny that. I take it for granted. But all the big chefs in the world are men. So girls have to know that too. Okay, so respect each other and move forward to serve the community in a lot better way. What I said about vaccination, you do have to learn it either from a nursing college or from a medical college, and it is a worth exploring idea. It's not a rocket science to give a shot, but you will help the medical profession to keep a better record. Everybody will have a vaccination record. People visit their pharmacy more than they visit their doctors. So why not make pharmacy a vaccination place than a doctor's office? So doctor can take care of the other patients. You are not going to take away anything from the medical profession, but if you go to them with an idea that you can help them to do that, it will help. I would suggest if you are a pharmacy student, have you done BMI for your family? Do you know what is BMI? Have you done medication profile for your parents? Do you know what medicines your parents are taking? Do that. Find out. Find out why they go to a doctor, what medications they are taking. And then are they taking it the right way? A very good example is that lisinopril is a blood pressure medication. Lisinopril generally doesn't go well with the Indian community. Brown skin. It gives them dry hacking cough. So you might think that person is just coughing, but oh, my dad has a blood pressure, my mom has a blood pressure, but it may be the lisinopril. Now, I take lisinopril. The reason I take lisinopril because I'm diabetic. So I have to protect my kidney. So I don't take lisinopril for my blood pressure, but I take lisinopril 2.5 milligram so I can have a better filtration in my kidney. Now, I had a problem with kidney stone. And so I talked to the doctor. I said, what will help me? He said, hydrochlorothiazide. So I take hydrochlorothiazide, 12.5 milligram every day. So I do not get more stones. I drink enough water. I take cholesterol medication, Crestor. My cholesterol is below 100. But since I am a diabetic, I am prone to have a higher cholesterol if I do not take care of myself. So I take lowest possible dose every day. Now, the side effect of cholesterol medication is a leg cramps. No matter what you do. There was a very famous drug, I think everybody was taking it 10 milligrams, and it was a super duper statin. And everybody used to get leg cramp. Now, what do you do for leg cramp? You can advise people that if you take magnesium oxide or a magnesium chloride, it will help you to build the muscle and you will not have a leg cramps. Because it may not be a leg cramp, it may be a restless leg. Sometimes after a certain age, you get tired and you do have a pain in your legs, So you study the medicine part along with the nutraceutical, along with the minerals, along with the homeopathic medication, along with the Ayurvedic medication. This is the time during the COVID era, everybody wants to have a more immunity. So what would they say? Take Chyawanprash? Yeah, you can have Chyawanprash and have a lot of sugar too, but does sugar get converted into it? I think Himalayan drug, they did a wonderful work. They came out with a Chyawanprash capsule. That's a good thing to take. I don't know in second year pharmacy that they teach you pharmacognosy or not. But pharmacognosy is a very, very important subject. It does wonders, especially during the pandemic. Ajwan, clove, ginger, turmeric. Take 1 teaspoonful of each, mix it with 3 liters of water, put some cinnamon, boil it, cool it down, and drink during the day. You will not have any problems with lungs. Now, think one more thing as a pharmacist. This will be the last part, because I think we are coming close to 40 minutes. Where do you find the COVID virus? How do they do the COVID test? In the back of the nose or in the back of the throat, right? Now look at the Ayurvedic thing. They call it neti deti. You put water through one nose and take it out through the other nose. So you are washing it off. Now, generally they do it with a salt solution, in yoga. Just think that if you take 0.5% betadine, few drops of betadine within that solution during the nasal lavage, you can wash off all the virus. Somebody told me that there is a product in India called betadine gargles, and you can avoid the sore throat. Well, yoga is a good thing, but you make a clinical part of it. How can I treat my patient better? By suggesting them very simple thing. Betadine is not expensive. I think they sell as a 10% solution. Just do the calculation, make 0.5%. I would, in the end, prefer that if you have learned how to measure the blood pressure, then have some kind of a health seminar and invite general public that once a month you will have a free blood pressure check at the pharmacy college. I would prefer that you can make in your lab, hand sanitizer. Don't go up to 70% alcohol because then there are some other problems. I think 65% or 60% is a lot safer because it's a water base. Find out that when do they use the gel, cream, and ointment. There are a lot of formulation available, but what can you recommend? If a person has fallen down, if he has sprained something, you don't want to give him a cream or an ointment because you have to rub it in. You don't rub that. You need a gel. Take a gel and apply slowly, and he will feel a lot better. So you have to make your pick, and you have to make your things presentable to the general public in such a way that they come to you. Doctors can come to you because you have done something to help doctor, so his patients are being well taken care of. You should know what are the pre-medication. You should know what are the post-operative medication. You should know. Is it time over now?
No, so you can continue for let's say 5 more minutes.
Okay. So what you have to find your own niche, that what it is. Now, this is one of my dream, okay? They already do it in this country. Suppose you have got a classroom. There are say 50 students. All of them are not of same caliber, right? Some of them are very studious, some of them are lazy, some of them are just passing time. But if a lecturer is giving a lecture and you appoint a student to take the notes, okay, then distribute that note. So everybody has got it in writing that what you have said, and it gives a chance to a teacher that whatever he said in the class, is it being transcribed right? Maybe you can charge them the fee for that. Maybe there is a small stipend can be involved. But what will happen that everybody will have something in writing instead of teacher waiting for students to write by themselves. You follow what I'm saying? In each class, there can be 2 smart students who can take the notes. The teacher can check that note out and then let them distribute it. If there's a cost involved, then let them pay for it. Because you don't want to have all the Google pharmacists and Google doctors. Google doesn't say everything right. There are a lot of things which comes from the teacher's mouth is a lot better than which comes from the speakers. We might be telling you our experience, but we might be omitting something we have not done. We might be just telling you the good part. I would request that if you can find for a community pharmacy, invite Raj Vaidya, okay?
Sir, he's one of our mentors for Western Regional Center of Association of Community Pharmacists of India. So he's always on board, and we had his lecture on National Pharmacist Day.
Yeah, invite him, and that man is amazing.
Yeah. So
that man is amazing.
yeah.
It's not that his family is amazing. Let me tell you, I think he is amazing because his wife is amazing. And his parents were doctors, and I think they both were alive when I went to see him. But the way he does it, the subtleness, that subtleness you need in a pharmacist.
So we have him on board, and we are glad to have him on board for our Western Regional Center. So he is already he's always communicating with us, and he has taken 1 or 2 lectures for us also.
That's very good. If any questions?
Yeah. So Shruti, any questions in the chat box? You can ask them one by one to sir.
Participants are requested to put their questions in the chat box, if any.
Yeah. You're not able to see the questions? Shruti?
No, sir. No, sir.
Just a minute. Then I have the questions. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll ask. Yeah. So, sir, there is one question from Saili Pimpre from SYD Farm. So, how COVID-19 changed the pharmacy, as per you?
COVID-19 is a virus, right? It's a virus.
Yeah.
Virus don't go away. Virus stays. Flu vaccine, it stays. They get mutated. So whatever has happened now we can control it. But somebody will have to manage it. And pharmacist is the right person to manage it. Social distancing, washing the hands, gargling it, putting, neti deti, Ayurvedic things, There is a very nice arsenic formulation from, I think in Pune they give, Dr. Bajaj used to do that. In Bombay, there is a very nice pharmacist called Dr. Shankaran. His father used to be my doctor in I think he's in Vileparle, There is Rupaben Kothari, he's a very good homeopathic doctor, So we pick up these things, whatever you gather right now, things are going to stay.
Yeah.
They are not going away.
Yeah.
Okay, so good hygiene, good communication. फिर बाहर जाके गोलगप्पे खाओ जू पे बैठ के वो अभी बंद करना पड़ेगा ये नहीं चलेगा यार or pharmacies are going to stay. You can do so many things. You can have a home health care. You can have a diabetic wound care. You can have a, you know, suppose you say, I will take everybody's blood pressure free. Okay. You just take the blood pressure, give it to them. And then you say, who is your doctor? I will send it to him. You can come to my shop every day and I will take your blood pressure once a week at no charge. And then you put a small dabba there, you know, like a hat. If you want to put $1, you put $1 there, or ₹1, you know, then you can donate that money. But you got that patient for life. Find out what medication he is taking. And then if you report to his doctor that this is the things your medications are working, you have become a link. You know?
So next question is from one of our participants, Mrs. Manjari Garak. She is the principal of KM Kundanani Diploma Pharmacy in Ulhasnagar. She's asking, what is the response of vaccine in USA?
What is the response of vaccine?
Vaccine which has been given to the patients COVID-19.
Right now in America, we are taking the second vaccine, you know, because 21 days has passed. I have not noticed any side effect. Generally, whatever the flu vaccine does, you take a couple of Tylenols and you will be okay. If Tylenol doesn't cut it, then you go and take Aleve or Naproxen, you know. The lady who comes to give shower to my mother, she got her vaccine today from Kaiser. Nurse Kayla was telling me today, because she visits my mom 3 times a week. She says that I'm going to go for vaccination next week, you know, and what shall I be careful? I said, well, it's going to hurt a little bit, but just take regular 325 milligram Tylenol, you will be okay. And some people are taking Advil, but I don't like Advil, you know, because that causes gastritis, you know. And like, you know, during COVID, people are taking a lot of, see, in India, dexamethasone and prednisone are taken so much, you know, every Ayurvedic guy gives a prednisone, and all of a sudden everybody has got a gastritis. Why? Everybody has got a blood sugar. Why? Because you are taking steroids, you know. And if pharmacists can come in and tell them, yeah, you can take steroids, but do it in the right way, you know, and then they become your patient all their life, you know. Like that Shruti was saying that I sold all of my pharmacy because I went through a certain personal thing. I had to go to City of Hope Cancer Hospital to get the bone marrow transplant, you know, for my late wife, you know. So we stayed there for 30 days. And being a pharmacist, you know, we were living in a cottage, and then different time we do a different thing, and sometimes certain thing doesn't work. So Dr. Leong said, hey, Uncle Dave is there, why don't you just ask him to go and fix it, you know? And he says, everybody who is in the village, he will volunteer and you do his calculation and nurses can do it. So she wrote down on everybody's order, you know. It was a fun for me, you know. Once you learn it, you can always use it, you know. See, everybody will ask doctor that I have got a sore throat, what shall I take? Nobody will ask pharmacist that shall I take antibiotics? They will come only after that. But you can always give them something else.
Yes.
You can always give them something else, you know. Do you have a cognosy professor or not yet? That's next year, right?
Yes, sir. That's next year. But
yeah, okay.
In the upcoming semester, that we'll be having that.
Yeah, but cognosy is a very good subject.
Yeah.
I grow my own saragua, you know, that drumstick. I grow bangan, I grow tomatoes, all the vegetables I grow. I grow curry leaves, and most of the things I eat, what I grow. You know, I have aloe vera plant, you know, and I'm a firm believer of cognosy, you know, and but if you grow something, you can improve the environment.
Everything should be in that proper manner. Actually.
Yeah.
If you are-
Just try to, and I the toxicology things, I have done toxicology too, and that is a very good subject. You can also go into the flavor, how to flavor your, not flavoring, and is a big business in cosmetic, smell. They need pharmacists for that too.
Yeah.
But if everybody goes to industry, who is going to take care of 1.3 billion people? ये सिर्फ सोच का सवाल है. थोड़ी सोच बदल दो, सब दुनिया अच्छी हो जाएगी. And you guys are doing great. I'm very much proud of you. If anybody has any questions, I think my phone number is with your principal. Just send me a WhatsApp and I'll be more than happy to answer.
Yeah.
But guys, do one thing. Please respect each other. Okay? And you are going to make the best possible friends right now, which will come to help you. One of my friend, my classmate, he owns a company in Bombay, that Khorakiwala, Walker, he was my classmate. The Johnson & Johnson Vice President, Basant Sharma, is my classmate, he's here. And we do talk to each other, Boston Scientific guy, he went to school with me, So all of you are going to do good. Trust me. If I am a second batch student of Manipal and come and talk to you at the age of 73, imagine what you guys will do, because I didn't have Google or I didn't have laptop,
Sure.
You guys have got those things.
Yeah.
So you are doing so good. I am so proud to see all of you. Just send through, whatever you guys send, make sure that your college knows about it, and then I'll be more than happy to give any answers you want. Okay?
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just a minute. Yeah, we'll move towards. I'll hand it over to Shruti. Shruti.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your inspirational and motivational guidance. With this, we have come to the end of an incredible session. I am delighted to propose the vote of thanks for such a wonderful and enlightening session. I would like to take this opportunity and thank our speaker for the day, Dr. Mahadev Bhatt, for his wonderful guidance. I am thankful to our honorable founder, Dr. D.Y. Patil, sir, honorable president, Dr. Vijay Patil, sir, and managing trustee, Mrs. Shivani Patil, for the constant motivation and guidance. I would like to thank our principal, Dr. Rakesh Somani, sir, for his constant and overwhelming support throughout this webinar. I would like to thank our coordinator for the event, Mr. Aditya Guge, for all the help to carry out this webinar. I would also like to thank our collaborating partners for today, WRC ACPI and IPA CPD. And last but not the least, I would like to thank all the students for their active participation, without which this webinar would not have been a success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Shruti, and as a coordinator, and thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Mahadev Bhatt, for joining us straight away from USA, sparing your valuable time and so late in the USA. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, and good luck to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you. So good luck. Thank you much.
We'll end the webinar now. Okay. Thank you. Bye, everyone. And I hope everyone has filled the feedback form, which I have given in the chat box. So
any question, you guys can WhatsApp me, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Any question. Okay, sure, no problem. Okay, sure. Thank you.
I have again put the link for the feedback. You can just go click it and just fill the feedback form. Thank you. Thank you, Shruti. Thank you, everyone.